Kolo, Yahweh
Yahweh
Shem
Shem
Yahushai,
Yahushai.
the ones that men that get life for this truth. Then Yahweh shall rise first. The ones elders a great millstone that taught us the truth. And honestly, brothers out there teaching to the house of David, 144,000, the church of the saints, to the 1/3 men, women, and children, who are part of the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, you black, Latino, Native Americans. We basically want to just push this vibration up because you have this, what you call it, extra super moon. And it's to occur November 14th. Like the brother said, that's what, 6 days after the 8th. And going into the numerologies and astrologies and these devils, they go into that. Because the last time this happened was 1948, right? And what happened on 1948? They took the land of Israel, these gutter rats. And around that time was the blood moon. Now, the blood moon was 1492, was the blood moon. Was when Christopher Columbus did his wickedness to Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic. Then you had 1948, which is another blood moon. And then you had another blood moon, which was 1967, when they made Jerusalem a state. So basically, these devils, they do things on certain astrologies, because they go into the astrologies and they worship the heavens. But the scriptures is against that. All this was made for was for signs. But the heathens are dismayed by them. Well, that's when you go into the sun worshiping with paganism, like Halloween we just had, right? Which goes back to Samhain, which goes back to Nimrod, which goes back to worshiping of the sun. When we read in Deuteronomy 18, that's a pagan practice. We're not supposed to be worshiping the sun. Here it is how people go to church on what? Sunday. Worshipping of the sun, just like the ancient Egyptians. You had Amun-Ra, sun god Ra. Because the ancient Egyptians believe in different gods called polytheism. They had a different god. We have monotheism. We believe in only one power, which is the creator of the moon, and of the earth, and of the planets, and of the spirit, man. Here it is, you worshiping the moon, which these devils, that's what they do. These witches and warlocks. Well, they call it the full moons. They call it moon synergies. They believe if they imitated the celestials, that they will get power from the celestials. That's where the Masons get that calling as above, so below. They call it moon synergies, which that goes back to the ancient Egyptians. And that goes back to the Babylonians. All this wickedness was just reincarnated. Different deities, same deities, different names. All wickedness. Okay, give me that, brother.
Jeremiah?
Yeah.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
Come on.
Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Be not dismayed by the signs of heaven. You see? But go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Now, they're dismayed by this. They're worshiping the moon. Here it is. They're going to moon worshiping, sun worshiping. Even going to, like I said, Sunday. Even the days that we're going through right now, the calendar, the Gregorian calendar, going back to the Greeks. Thursday, Thor. Sunday, day of the sun. You see? All that is in the vibration of Esau. Esau got everything upside, even the timing. Because we're supposed to tell time through what? Give me Genesis 1 and 14. Real quick, and then we're going to go back to Jeremiah.
Book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14.
Come on.
And the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years.
That's right. That's where you have to get the whole Sabbath from, And you get the new moon, which the word month goes back to lunar, which means moon. You see? And these devils know that certain energies, like even when it's a full moon, they know that people tend to get more violent. There's more domestic violence is on an all-time high. People are more aggressive. People are having more sex. People are killing each other. Even cops will tell you that. That's where you get the whole werewolf thing. Oh, that's real.
You become lunatic.
You become lunatic.
The moon is a secondary light source, and a lot of people don't get enough sun, especially Edomites, because the sun is not in their favor. So they get a lot of that moon sunlight, that secondary sunlight, and wind up being lunatics.
Lunatics, yo. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night.
Which is the sun for the day and the moon for that night. That's it. It's like a light bulb. That's all it is. Celestial light bulb. Not to be worshipped.
Give me. Says he made the stars also.
He made the stars, man. What does Esau do? Jupiter, Saturn, which that goes back to Saturday, goes back to Saturn. That's why these Jewish people have what? Friday to Saturday Sabbaths, which that goes back to worshiping of Saturn, man, and the seven rings. A matter of fact, the seventh building that went down was the Solomon building and the World Trade Centers, which that goes back to Saturn too. Saturn, even when you go to the judges in the courtrooms, all that whole black wearing, that goes back to the worshiping of the Saturn. When the Jewish devils be wearing all black, that goes back to Saturn, man. Saturn, it's like Santanelli, what they call it, right? Saturn worship. Let me get Luke 21 and 25.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
There shall be a sign. That's a sign, man. Extra moon, which they call this. This is like a rare event, like I said, in 70 years. And 77 means what? Completion. And the next time they're gonna do this is 2034, and it's when the moon becomes 30% brighter and it becomes 14% larger. And they say this is when the moon is closest to the earth, and that's gonna affect the tides and the waters of the ocean. You're gonna wait. You get natural disasters to people because your body's 80% water. They call it syzygy, is it they call it, or synergy they call it. You know, that's when the earth, the sun, and the moon are in line with each other. The earth in the middle too. So that's all goes into the astrologies that these devils, that's their power. Because the Most High Yahweh Shem didn't choose these Edomites. So it is, you have these satanic priests on the left hand side that doing all that wickedness and witchcraft. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 26. Men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Right, and these devils are scared because Yahweh Shem is coming back. Even though, like, Pharaoh's already hardened their heart, but they know the Lord is coming back. And the whole world's going to fear, even the 2/3 of our people. Right? Even us, waiting for the Lord, we're going to be afraid. The Lord's going to come in such power and great glory. Go ahead. It
says,
there's a spirit. What's next? Go ahead.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
Yup, he's coming in a big chariot, man. The big gigantic chariot. He's coming with his glory, the chariots. He's coming in a celestial body. The scriptures say, I shall not meet thee as a man. He's coming as an angelic force to take over the world and deliver the elect. Go ahead.
And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
And the signs are here, man. That's a major, major sign. Give me Jeremiah 10. For sure.
It says, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Yeah, right. They're dismayed by this. They worship it. When you go into all these heathen, so-called heathen, even the whole Islam symbol with the crescent moon and all that, that goes back to that star, and that goes back to wizardry and witchcraft. That's why in the Disney world, Mickey Mouse, he has the wizard hat. It goes back to wizardry, wizard, sorcerer. It says it right there, sorcerer, Mickey Mouse, witchcraft. We're gonna bring that out next, Isaiah 47 and 12. Finish that, brother.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
This goes into the Christmas trees, man, which paganism, which that even goes back to Nimrod. The story said they chopped him up into pieces, and his wife tried to look, Semiramis, she tried to look for his body, and all she found was his dick. And that's what the point of the tree stands for, man. Go ahead.
They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
That it move not. And guess what? This might not be your Christmas, because so-called Christmas, which Christ means to cross out and Mass means murder. So and the Lord wasn't born in the winter. He was born in the springtime, when life springs forth on earth. And that's that witchcraft, man. That's that sorcery. They got everything, and it's a holiday, not a holy. We have holy days. It's a holiday. We have holidays in the scriptures, man. Holy days, not holidays. These devils have holidays. Now, to these devils, this is a major sign for them. This is a sign from heaven, man. And they go into that. Give me Isaiah 47 and 12, right?
Isaiah 47, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Enchantments. Look, he got his hands on. He's doing enchantments. These devils, that's what they're doing. But there's no enchantment against Jacob. There's no enchantment against the elect. There's no enchantment against the house of David, the church of the saints. Go ahead.
If so, be thou shalt be able to profit. If so, be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the
astrologers going into the heavens, right? Astrologies, that's what these devils do on the left hand side. Go ahead.
The
stargazers reading the heavens. Go ahead. Reading not only reading the heavens, worshiping the heavens and the celestials. All right, go ahead.
The monthly prognosticators.
Go ahead.
Stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them.
And that's nuclear missiles going to burn up, which in the scripture, you're supposed to put witches to death. This whole place is a witch empire. It's a warlike empire. It's a wizard empire. Deuteronomy 18 is against that, man. You're going to bring that out? The spirit. Spirit is working heavy, man. The truth is beautiful, man. Just don't stop.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations.
Yeah, all right. That's going into this being dismayed by the signs of heaven, worshiping the heavens and making gods out of it. Go ahead.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that use divination.
They pass through the fire that goes into the temple of Baal, which you don't hear about that no more. Then you have the Samhain Halloween, which the trick or treat goes back to the Druids when they used to knock on the nobles' doors, and they used to wait outside, and you used to have to give them a treat, someone to sacrifice them, a servant, a child. And if not, if you didn't do that, they will put a trick, they will put a curse upon your household. Those were the Druid priests, and Mickey Mouse is just like a Druid priest, a wizard. Go ahead.
Or an observer of times.
Go ahead.
Or an enchanter.
Go ahead.
Or a witch.
That's right. That's what these devils deal with. Enchanting, witches. Go ahead.
Or a charmer.
Or charmer. Go ahead.
Or a consulter with familiar spirits.
Go ahead. Oh, matter of fact, they're about to do that when they get the new president, inaugurate spirits. Go ahead.
Or a wizard.
Wizard. Go ahead.
Or a necromancer.
Which the necromancer is like the highest. I mean, they really deal with dead bodies, man. It's like the highest. That's like one at the top right there. Keep going.
For all that do these things are an abomination to Yahweh. And because of these abominations, Yahweh thy power doth drive them out from before thee.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy power. For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times and unto the diviners. But as for thee, Yahweh thy power have not suffered thee so to do.
I'm showing you how stupid you heathens are, because you worship the creation, but we worship the creator that created that. I'm showing you how fucking low you devils are, man. You other nations are. You know? So we at the end of this thing. Let me finish, to go to 14. I'll finish it. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them up. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor a fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, and none shall save thee. Because those missiles are going to burn up America. Right? We at the end of this bitch. We're going to play this clip. We're about to end it. We got a scripture. We got like 2 minutes left. I'm just going to play the clip.
2016 is on track to experience a relative wealth of supermoons, but none will likely compare to the one occurring on November 14th. On that night, the lunar orb will be the boldest and brightest it's been in roughly 70 years. The reason is a rare combination of
70 years, 7's completion.
Factors, the greatest of which is a perigee syzygy. Perigee denotes the point in our natural satellite's orbit when it's closest to Earth. Syzygy is when the Sun, Moon, and Earth fall in line. When When those happen simultaneously, with the Earth sandwiched between the Sun and the Moon, it's a perigee syzygy, the effect of which is a supermoon.
If you understand, the scriptures talk about wisdom, knowledge, understanding. But when it talks about the sun, the moon, the stars, it's also talk about wisdom, knowledge, understanding. It's twofold. So these devils have the wisdom, knowledge, understanding on the left-hand side. You know, they deal with astrology.
Making the next one so special is that not only will the moon be close to Earth, it will be at its closest point in decades. As a result, the moon will appear 30% brighter and 14% larger. The last time such an event occurred was 1948. And the next time won't be until 2034. Notably,
2034, we're going to be in the kingdom before that. You know, This place is done. That's a sign.
There will be another supermoon appearing in December, but it will just be a regular one.
So this is spiritual. 70. This is heavy. 70. That's deep, man. 70 years completion. Because the Lord's going to completely destroy you devils. And he's going to put us together, man. He's putting us together now, the tabernacle of David. He's rebuilding the tabernacle of David, the northern and southern kingdom, the 12 tribes together, starting with the elect. 70 years. These devils know what's up, man. They know what time it is. Yeah, the scripture bring out real quick. It's about to shut off.
Nah, you got it, brother.
Yeah, basically we're at the time when.
I'll bring it out.
Quick.
Leviticus 20:6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. That's the spirit, because that moon, that's 6 days after the election, man. You guys, going a whoring after Hillary Clinton and Trump, man. After you, little do you know, man, that's a spiritual thing. You never know what's gonna happen after that election, man.
And you wizards and warlocks, in the KKK, they call themselves grand wizards. See, they're in their right mind. You Edomites, you got to get in line with your brethren, man. Get in line, man. Guess what? The elites don't want nothing to do with you. Your brethren, your kinsmen that's ruling the planet Earth, they don't want nothing to do with you. They want to exterminate you too. We at the end of this thing. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the house of David, the 144,000, the elect, the church of the saints, the 1/3, the men, women, and children as part of the elect. All right? You need to be dismayed by the signs of heaven, man. We're not ignorant.